Yo, 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 you tuned in to the Whistle Game Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Best Dress, better known as Shenard.
Your boy Ferb.
Listen, season 2, episode 2 should be a hitter. All right, today, that 53 man roster came out. That 53 man roster, what was besides the trade, land saga, what I mean, what went on the last couple of days in that 53-man roster? Any surprises to you? Anything that was on that 53-man roster that you were kind of shocked that we'll be making those decisions about those guys?
Nah, it seemed pretty standard, pretty legit. The one of the cool things that came from it is that for like the second or third year straight, our seventh round pick made the 53. So for whatever reason,
Yeah.
they be finding them late round dudes, missing all the first rounders, but finding the late round dudes. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I think I look at the draft. I mean, or this 53-man roster, and I think the conversation around camp after all the quarterback room thing, I think was the Ronnie Bell situation. Is Ronnie finding himself on that list of receivers that end up making the 53? On that 53 are a couple guys that may give us some in other areas. I mean, I'm still waiting to see where and how Danny Gray fits into our scheme offensively. It feels to me, and then we also have Ray as well make the 53-man roster. But however, it seems to me the actual game reps when it comes to wide receiver reps, to me, will probably go to Ronnie Bell as the fourth receiver, and that'll be my initial conversation. Is Ronnie Bell? I think he definitely earned some of the reps that he's going to get by the toughness, the tenacity that he showed in preseason. So that's one of those guys that I'm looking forward to seeing blossom in this offense. I think he can be maybe a smaller version of what Juwan gave us. So if we can get that kind of production out of Ronnie Bell, I think that'll be a great pickup for. But that was kind of my highlight of the all season or in preseason.
You think you think Ronnie Bell should be the fourth wide receiver over Ray's healthy?
I think Ray is our punt returner guy, right? I think he's that guy. I mean, not to take anything from him being a vet. If you look at all the episodes before, I believe in having a vet in the room, and Ray is that vet in the wide receiver room. However, I think if you're looking at playability, things like that, I think Ronnie Bell is something special if he gets the ball in his hand. Again, it ain't really so much about my conversation between Ronnie Bell and Ray. It's Danny. I don't know what Danny is, what Danny does. I don't know who Danny becomes in his offseason. Every time I looked at, you know, uh, 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 camp,
Yeah, you break busted up on it.
the route running ability of Ayuk. You got me.
Go back.
So those things, like everything I seen out of the camp.
Go back to what you were saying about Danny.
Yeah, like all the camp report. Yeah, so I don't know where Danny fits. So when I look at it, my conversation is not about Ray and Ronnie Bell splitting those reps. It's the idea of whoever has that being the fourth. No, you got me first.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh,
Probably gonna
okay.
edit a
Yeah,
bunch
so
of
it ain't
that
really
part
about
out.
Ronnie Bell's. Yeah, so it ain't Ronnie Bell reps. It ain't Ray reps. It's the ideal of where does Danny fit in. And I do think that with Ronnie Bell's playmaking ability, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's going to be a second addition of what our receivers already do. Is that yak boys, right? Getting yak yards after small catches and turning them into big plays and first downs. Um, I don't know if Ray fits that bill, and I don't know what Danny Gray gets us. I mean, we keep saying Danny Gray's going to take the top off. Take the top off what? The pot in the cafeteria for the beans? I don't know. I
Well,
haven't seen him take the top off anything.
they should have packaged Danny Gray with Trey because that was for Trey. Danny was strictly for Trey. Trey's gone. There's nobody on the team. No matter what we think about Brock and whoever that could go down the field with the least with the power that Trey potentially or does have in that arm. That was strictly for Trey for when to come off that play action, throw the ball 60 yards deep down the field. So Danny has nothing in this offense. He'll be cut. This I think I want to say, isn't he injured? I think, but even if he's not and he makes it through the season, this is his last year. But I want to say him and Ray are injured, and they made the 53-man roster, and they're gonna just because of the way it works, and then now they're gonna be placed on whatever and something like that, and I think they're gonna re-sign Willie Snead and probably somebody else to fill the two gaps. I know Willie Snead. I'm pretty sure will be one.
Yeah, initially, we talked offline. That was one of the people that I said I thought that after Debo and Ayuk and Juwan, I thought the other three receivers would be the likes of Ronnie Bell, Snead, and maybe Walker. Is a sixth receiver that I thought would make that sixth spot in the initial going into game one. It was the way we were feeling injury with the injury to Ray and the injury to Danny or Elijah Mitchell or who else is in the tub.
Bringing up Elijah Mitchell, let's go to the running backs. I think, even though it's not a little preview for the season, but I honestly think if McCaffrey stays healthy this year, he'll be in the MVP conversation. Like McCaffrey stays healthy and we do what it do and Kyle does what he does. Excuse me. We're talking about McCaffrey as an MVP candidate by the end of the year.
It's been a long time since a running back has won that award. That's what makes it so difficult in this game of quarterbacks, right? The NFL is the game of quarterbacks. If you got a good signal caller and a good, thrower of the football, it's hard for a running back to come. So what type of numbers are you projecting McCaffrey to have to be considered for MVP? You're talking about up over 15 tutties? Like you're talking over 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving?
How many rushing you said?
You saying 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving?
I'm thinking, excuse me, I'm thinking more like maybe 1,300 rushing, probably 700 to 800 receiving, but 2,000 total. So 15 touchdowns,
2,000 yard back. How many tutties?
15 at least.
15 tutties.
And shit, he might throw 1 or 2. Listen, he's gonna be a weapon with Kyle. He's gonna be lined up all over the field. He's gonna get the ball so many different scenarios, so many different formations. I think he gonna go nuts, bro. He gonna go nuts in Kyle Shanahan. Full season with Kyle Shanahan, them boys gonna go nuts.
All right, let's flip it though. All right, so we talked about the offensive side of the ball a lot. The defense side of the ball, not a whole lot of press coming out of camp as to who was doing what. Besides the fact that Bosa was not there. What are we looking for? Anybody in particular you're looking forward to seeing touch the field, take the field, be in that happy they made the 53-man roster that was maybe a last one in, last one out type guy? Anybody in particular that you happy that made the 53?
So I mean, we go back 2 drafts ago. I guess that's what the Trey Lance draft. We drafted Ambry Thomas. And Ambry's my guy. Got a chance to talk to him at Jacksonville. And I told him then he was going to be locked down cornerback 1, CB 1. It's crazy. Ambry out of Michigan and Ronnie Bell out of Michigan. But anyway,
and your kick out of Michigan.
And the kick out of Michigan. We got all the hard balls. But Ambry, I'm excited for Ambry. He had a great camp. He showed up in the preseason games. Disappointment in Oliver. We signed him, paid him maybe not big bucks, but we definitely targeted him and went after him to be our big nickel corner. and he's been a disappointment. So I'm excited that Ambry got a shot, took advantage of the shot that he got, and looks like he's gonna come in on nickel situations, not play inside, but he'll play the outside. And Lenore will slide inside to the slot with Ambry on the outside, and then obviously thing on the other side. So I think the corners, and then obviously you got Gibson and Huff back there. I think the secondary is straight. I think the secondary is gonna be fine. I want to see more of the evolution of Hufanga. He's all pro last year. I'm not sure how much more pro he can get, but with him and our new defensive coordinator in his blitz style, I mean, you saw a little bit of it, I think, in our second preseason game. Hufanga just lining up on the line of scrimmage, looking like Palomalu Jr. out there. So I think that's going to be a little bit exciting with more blitzing that our defense is going to do. But as I think how I feel, I'm all about the defense. Like that, we only go as far as Fred take us. Fred is. I love when we win the toss, put our defense on the field. When I'm at the games, I'm screaming, put my defense on the field. I'd rather that defense on the field just smashing them, taking their hearts out their chests, and the offense just getting whatever they can get. Like whatever. Like we got a nice offense, but I love that defense. I love that defense.
Yeah. So me taking a look at the defense, I will say this: I thought we were a little thin at the linebacker spot. I know we packed a lot of them. I don't remember any of those guys really just jumping off the screen to me. Like I didn't see a Shay Azier being in that second group. I mean, it's Greenlaw and it's Warner. After that, I don't know. At any day, anybody could be the third guy off the bench. Last year, we knew if one of those two linebackers went down, that Azier was coming in and giving us everything he had, and we knew he was built 49 away. He was 49 strong. He was base strong. I didn't see anything from the linebacker position that was that jumped off the page for me. Them being in the right place, getting everybody else aligned, being great leadership in the second unit. They played a lot of snaps, and I'm hoping with the new coordinator that his plan was to just be very, very vanilla in the preseason, not give a whole lot of things away, what I mean, as far as blitz pickup, how he's going to get Bosa or Colin Farrell in a one-on-one situation. I didn't see Armstead have a great camp. So I'm hoping that these matchups, he want to put a lot of that on tape so people know how they're going to defend the big bear in the middle and the little bear when he comes back on the end. And Colin Farrell, the games that I did see Colin Farrell actually come off the ball, he still has a lot left in the tank. And I'm looking forward to have somebody opposite of Bosa whenever we can get him signed.
Yeah. So the linebackers, we got Burks, but Flanagan Flowers, Demetrius, he was there last year, and he played.
Yeah, he got a bunch of hyphens.
Yeah, he played pretty decent last year, and that was in the mix. He would come in for big play Dre. So I mean, I think he's okay, but I think Burks is the third linebacker, and then he's still the fourth. So we'll see. And then going to that D line, like you talked about, definitely, I think Farrell's gonna have a big year on the opposite side of Bosa. I would love to see Drake Jackson like dominate that second unit and be the go-to guy in that second unit somehow, some way. I'm not sure what the hell we're gonna get from Kinlaw, local guy, to us over here in the Southeast, Charlotte, South Carolina, but I feel sorry for him, but I'm pretty sure this is his last year with us.
So what about the big acquisition? I mean, nobody spent a lot of time talking about the big acquisition of having Hargrave join the 49ers. Does he only get better if we have Bosa and now he's getting a one-on-one with Armstead beside on this side, him being there, Colin Farrell potentially getting a one-on-one, and then Bosa being able to have to be chipped or blocked or doubled by the tight end or by the back? Is that when we see the best version of why we spent our money in the offseason, or can he be that guy without anybody else around him? If it's the guys that he lined up with without Bosa being there.
I don't know. So the reports that I've seen from camp is that he's just a gamer. Like you're not gonna see him show up until it's game time. I mean, that's all I've heard and seen. Same like what you just said, pretty much. Like you haven't heard anything about him the whole camp. And the reason why they're saying that like he's just a gamer. Like when the lights is on, you'll see what we paid for. So it's one of those things. I guess we just hope and pray that he is what he is. I mean, he had like 10 or 12 sacks last year in Philly and on that interior defense. So I mean, we'll see. I think our D line is better than what they have in Philly. With Bosa, I mean, Bosa's Bosa. Like Bosa is that dude. Bosa changes the game. And I ain't gonna front as of right now, as we record this, 8/29 Tuesday, 11 days before kickoff. I'm starting to get a little worried about Bosa. No Bosa, almost no wins. Bosa changes the dynamic of the defense and obviously the whole team. Like,
so let me ask you this question: if you're Bosa, who are you looking for a phone call? Who's making this final deal? Because I'm imagining Lynch has been on the phone with him.
Jed York need to get on the phone and say, "What do you want?
York?
5 more million?" I think they have to be close or agreed upon a lot of the structure or the money part, whatever the guarantees is. It has to be something probably so little in that contract that they're going back and forth over.
What if it's part ownership?
Nah, they're not negotiating no contracts like that yet. The first person to probably do that, but they're not letting the players do that. I think in all the leagues, it's something in the CBAs. But one of the first people to do something like that would probably be LeBron if he signs another deal. But they're not like soccer. They let Messi do something like that. He gets revenue share from the whole league or some crap like that. But no, it's got to be something. No trade clause, extra, like it's probably it has to be being held up by something. Because there's no way you could tell me you've had 6-7 months, and you guys, and then now it's showtime now. I mean, it's game week essentially, week 1. And
what if he wants a quarterback deal? What if he wants a quarterback deal? What if he wants
fucking pay him? You pay Bosa.
What if he wants a quarterback
50 fucking million? Bosa's worth it. Pay him.
Yeah. All right. But
I'll give him the Mahomes deal.
That's what I asked. But here's this: if I'm Steve Wilks, does Steve Wilks say, "Hey, I built the same product out of less of a man"?
Because he had Burns. He had Burns. Burns is not Bosa, but we don't have a Burns. We don't have a second tier guy. We have Bosa, and then because of Bosa, it makes everybody else's job easier because now you get the one-on-ones, and these guys are professionals, so they should be able to hopefully beat a one-on-one from time to time. So that's what you got. So now you got no Bosa. So you telling me we try now Colin Farrell and Drake Jackson on the edges with Armstead and Hargrave in the middle? That equals no pressure. Kenny Pickett,
last question
George Pickens, and me losing my mind in the stands. That's what that
last question before we go. One, what is the odds of Steve Wilks being gone after only one season with us? And if he is, what team do you see him being able to become the next head man of? And who's our next coordinator?
So I don't think he's going after one season. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't have any interviews except for the Panthers because he was the interim coach. So for whatever reason, he's not on the radar. He is an older guy, and he should be on the radar. But I don't think he's a one and done. The reason why I had liked the hire of him coming because I'm hoping slash assuming we can have a 3, 4, 5 year run with him. But let's just say we only get the 1 or the 2 year run with him as the D coordinator. I think it's time for Chris Kasarik to get the D coordinator spot. He's the best D line coach in the game. I'm always screaming at him when I see him from the stands, talking to him. All the players love him. Obviously, you see what he gets out of the D lineman year in, year out, day in, day out. And I think if you put him with the whole defense, he'll get a lot of that, a lot out of the defense. So, and they all respect him and they all like him. So, if it's a year, if it's 2 years, whatever, Chris Kasarik, I think, especially internally, would need to be the guy.
Chris Kasarik definitely is my hire as the next defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers if Steve Wilks is to leave from us. So, Kasarik, you got my vote. 2, I think he'll probably end up on the staff in potentially Tampa Bay, or maybe become the next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Is what I think that's going to be that's holding that seat right now. I think the Atlanta Falcons job will be one of the jobs that'd be a hot seat for individuals next year. So I can see him being in hot Atlanta, having his southern roots and his ties to the state of North Carolina, the city of Charlotte, and being on the East Coast. I can see they being super into him. I think he's a culture changer. I'm surprised he didn't end up with the job in Carolina. But I also think Atlanta would be probably get a great head coach if that be the situation. So that's going to probably my first stop is I'll say that there'll be 1. 2, I hate to say it because he probably can write his own note, but I think he can also be the next head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. And it's time for old man Whitehair to put his coaching whistle in a box and mail it somewhere across country. But I do see him potentially being, man, listen, but it's about time for Pete to go somewhere. But I can see him being the next head coach of the Seattle Seahawks and bringing that stingy ass defense back and only making it even tougher for what else is going on in the NFC West. So those are my 2 options as I see him go. I think we live off coaches getting promotions. I think coaches coming to us getting promotion is the same thing for the Bill Belichick thing. If you need, or the Nick Saban thing, I think Kyle Shanahan has that kind of tree right now where some coaches come to rebuild a Belichick and Nick Saban. That's what I really think.
That's true. Yeah,
Yep. I'll let you close us out, my dog.
He definitely got the reputation of building back everybody's reputation and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, I think it's a great 53-man roster. I mean, real quick on the special teams, so we didn't touch on the special teams. We don't start shaking yet.
You about to push me to drinking again tonight.
So we got the kicker situation. Moody, that's my guy, my 3rd round pick. I think he was a great pick. It seems like he's going to be okay. He'll be ready to go week 1. You got Wiskowski, the punter, who to me is just a little bit of probably above average. It is what it is. But in terms of the kick returner and punt returner, it looks like maybe Ronnie Bell's going to get that opportunity. I guess we won't know until they kick off. It looks like Ronnie Bell is probably going to get that opportunity until Ray Ray's back. I'm not sure how far Ray Ray's has to go, but I mean, obviously to win football games take all 3 aspects, as you know. You need the offense, you need the defense, and the special teams. And when it comes down to it, mark my words, we can mark this on this day. Moody will win us games this year with that leg. He will win us games this year with that leg. I promise you. I don't even know how to jinx myself. I want to say something slick and sly, but if we kicking field goal, that means we're not scoring touchdowns. So I'm hoping it's some mid-late heroics being able to get points when we're not supposed to be able to get points because we got a 60-yarder as opposed to being punt. And I hear what you're saying, but if we're kicking field goals, if he's our most vicious weapon,
we're not doing what we're supposed to do offensively.
No, I'm just looking at him as obviously he has a long way to go before he's like the Ravens kicker. But I'm just saying, like in terms of that leg, like we get over the 50, we get over to the 45, the 42, we're gonna have a shot. The more and more he makes them, the more and more confidence Kyle will have in trotting them out there for those 58, 59, 60 yarders. You see the Ravens, they get to that 40, they know if they can't get a first down, they kicking a field goal. They gonna try it because he could boot it. But I think it's gonna be a great season. I think we got a great team. Kyle and John Lynch, no matter what you think about them and the whole Trey Lance debacle, they put together a solid roster year in, year out that allows us to compete. And it's a wonderful thing, obviously being a fan of the squad, that we know we go into every game every week with a chance to win. And that's all we want as fans, especially us who like to talk shit and brag a lot, because I can't stand it when we lose.
In Brock we trust. In Brock we trust.
And Brock we trust.
Yeah, the Brock Star, for sure, the Brock Star. But yeah, that's us signing out. What's the Game podcast? Once again, mine, yours truly, the best dress. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share. Brad, what you got for him?
Hit that like button, subscribe, share. It's your boy Ferb. Follow us on all platforms. Whistle Gang Podcast. I'm gonna let my son got bang bang. Bang bang. Bang bang. Nana gang. We out. Peace.
We out.